call today. We're going to get things jam-packed. I know a couple of guys are going to be starting to trickle in throughout this, but we're going to get started because this is what we do right on the top of the hour. I want to make sure this is worthwhile for everybody that decides to dedicate the hour every single Thursday. So welcome. I just want to say welcome. And last week, I always like to press preset from last week because last week was really important. Last week was a lot of interesting insights from different lions and all the energy that was happening when it came to more, the word more, right? Whether that's more money, whether that's more people in your life, whether that's more worth. Worth was the big one, right? We always talk about money, we always talk about wealth, but worth in yourself as a man is very, very powerful. And last week, we gave some accountability to work on yourself and focus on exactly what it takes for you to understand what is it that you want more of. Like, how do you pinpoint that to the one thing that you could actually want and actually want to achieve, right? So that kind of led me into today's conversation, which we're going to get into. But I always like to preset this is people are everything. People are everything. For a long time, I thought it was money, and I thought money was going to solve all my problems. Then I got money in my hands, and then I said, nope, it has nothing to do with money. It actually has to do with the most valuable commodity, which was time, right? Time is the most valuable. You can never buy back a minute. Doesn't matter how rich you are. But when I started to actually understand that if you have time and money on your side, the only thing left, the real core value, is in people, connecting with people. Now, this could be a spouse, this could be a business partner, this could be your future children. But people are very, very important. So I just want to welcome everybody here to the Lion's Den, because every single week at 8 p.m. EST, I'm actually in MST right now, so it's 6 p.m. for me, we meet up here for 3 simple words: brotherhood, blessings, and breakthroughs. The brotherhood between men, the bond. The only time you look down at a man is when you're picking him back up. The blessings from above or within, whatever you believe, just make sure you believe, because it's the core to your success. And of course, the breakthroughs. It may be something I say tonight, it may be something another lion says tonight, but be open for those breakthroughs. Be receptive to the knowledge that can be received within the capacity of your brain so that you can unlock the next chapter. You know, today's theme is interesting because today's theme is a little bit more on goal setting and accountability. Right? Goal setting and accountability. And I'm here at the Hotel Fairmont Gold, so you may see some people walking behind me and all that. But what's so interesting and amazing about this goal setting and accountability is I could sit here. And I could tell you, hey guys, this is how you goal set. I could give you a breakdown on what the accountability, but that shit's boring. There's no point in trying to tell you to write your goals down every single day. There's no point in telling you to do it twice if you want a 10x. There's no point in actually giving you the fundamentals to creating those goals, because we all know how to create goals. We all know what we want. We just don't know what we need. And today is where I decode and decipher a bit more on what you actually need versus what we want when it comes to goals. And when I talk about that, you know what? I think about it like this. If we know how to set goals and we know how to work towards goals, we try very hard towards them. I'm going to bring that word back up. But the interesting thing about goals is that it actually has nothing to do with how to set them or writing them down or following up on them. What it actually has to do, gentlemen, lions in the room, is what fucking distracts you from achieving it. You see, it's not the goal and the accountability that we need to actually look forward towards and try to achieve. It's about cutting the fucking distractions that are holding us back mentally on acting upon what we know is right. I don't need to sit here and tell you what's right and what's wrong. You know what's right and wrong for yourself. You know the experience that you've gone through and everything that you've been able to deal with. I don't need to come here and tell you this is right. This is the right path. You should go this way. You should buy my product. You should invest in this. You should do that type of deal. That's irrelevant. But what's relevant is you being able to understand what actually holds you back to achieve the things that you want. Now, what is it? Is it alcohol? Is it drugs? Is it sex? Is it porn? Depending if you're in a relationship or not, or maybe you're in both. A lot of men do infidelity. A lot of men are in serious fucking relationships. I know a lot of serious guys that are doing some serious numbers in business, but they don't know how to stay faithful to their wife, their girl. Like, what kind of life is that to fucking live? Doesn't matter about the money now. Doesn't matter about the cars and clothes. It's mindset. It's integrity. We have things, and that goes to the thoughts. Are thoughts holding you back? Maybe you over fucking think. I overthought for fucking years, years and years and years. I was over the, am I doing this right? Am I doing this wrong? Am I failing? Oh my God, what am I going to do? Half the shit I was self-sabotaging myself. I was self-sabotaging myself half the time. It had nothing to do with nobody else. I could blame the markets. I could blame the coach. I could blame the next product. Oh, I bought from this guy and it didn't work. I paid for this coach and he didn't give me the result. No, it had nothing to fucking do with that. It had to do with me. It was me that had to own that shit. And self-thought leads you to like family, friends, close things around you. I always talk about family and friends, man. They love you. They want the best for you, but they do not know what is best for you. Simple point. Your family is not in a position where you want to be. Your friends are not in a position where you want to accelerate to be. So you can't look at them for advice. You can't, and sometimes their toxic vibes kind of go like, shit, that's a lot of negativity, man. I sit down with my own mother. I'll be real with you guys. I sit down with my mother, like she's a British Indian woman, and I love her till the day I die. I would tell you that wholeheartedly because I'm a mama's boy, but I'll tell you right now, some of the conversations I have with her, I'm like, hi. Like, mom, like, let's just, okay, I understand that family's doing this and that, this and this and this. And it's just sometimes negativity. It ain't gonna really help me. So I want us to understand that there's things that hold us back, and especially ourself, because ourself is the reason. It is the core reason. Ourself is the reason where we go and personally develop by going to conferences and writing workshops and doing all these fucking notebooks and even attending calls like this. We do all this self-development and this personal development thinking that it's going to amount to something. Take it from somebody that spent millions of dollars on personal development, millions of dollars on different conferences, workshops, this, that, coaches, this, mentors, everything. It has nothing to do with them because they're going to give you good advice. You hire the right coach, the coach is going to give you the good advice. You're going to take, it's just a matter of what you do with that advice now. How much are you willing to actually step up and actually take that advice, implement that advice? I'm going to share a story with you. I recently just hired a coach, very powerful coach. His name is Dr. Ray. Very, very powerful. Very, very, very. And this guy is actually one of the only doctors that has a government contract with the United States of America. He not only is that, he's just a fucking beast. Like he's just a nonchalant, like just like a fucking mental beast. You get what I'm saying? And it's crazy because he started from the streets. Like he started from the streets, he had nothing. He was literally in the streets, and he went from the streets to not only becoming a doctor. Well, he went from being then he changed into paramedic. And then from paramedic, he went into doctor. From doctor, now he's consulting some of the most profound organizations in the United States of America today. And what's so interesting about this guy making 7 figures, 8 figures now, is that I had a phone call with him. It was my first phone call. Shit. here's where even King Lion J over here has vulnerabilities. Yeah, so I'm like, yo, okay, Dr. Ray, man, what you said on stage was interesting, man. Like, I want to actually do something with you. So whatever the next step is, I don't care what the costs are. Let's make it happen. Let's get this, because I need coaching in this domain. And what he speaks solely about is that health is wealth. And we've obviously heard that term before, health is wealth, but I took it in a serious matter, in a different practicality, because it was something he said. He said, look, he's like, the ones with distractions, like the things that I may have named, drugs, alcohol, women, like the impulsive shit, the thoughts, the racing thoughts, I put that as included, because you're cheating yourself. You may not be cheating on a partner, but you're cheating yourself up here. Right? So all these thoughts and everything like that. And it was a powerful phone call, because he's like, the weight that it carries. See, the weight that we carry on our heads is so important, because for me, it was about getting health in check. It was about me actually building my body more than trying to build my net worth now. Like, I've done good with making money. I've done good with building businesses. Yes, of course, I'm still learning. Yes, of course, I'm going to still scale to billions and trillions. But the thing is that I wasn't stepping back to understanding the distractions like work and business holding me back from my goal, being my own fitness, my health, being prepared to breed a next generation with my woman. You see, that's a different game, because that's my goal, but the distractions are the ones that were holding me back. And on this call, it was very, very powerful, very, very powerful call, because on the call, he said to me, he's like, your body and health is so important. He's like, your health is your wealth, yes. But he's like, I'm going to take it from this extent. Jay, what do you want to do? I was like, I want to lose some weight. I want to be more in shape. Like, of course, like the classic thing, I want to lose weight and I want to be more in shape. He said, okay. He's like, so what are your habits? Some of the things. I was like, you know what? Like food, I'm okay with this. And, like, I'm okay to manage my food and stuff like that. I was like, once in a while, though, I'm a very social creature, man. I'm a social creature. So I'm always around, out and about, shaking hands. And usually a lot of drinks come with that. I was like, so I can't, like it's hard to kind of maintain and count and, figure out. He stopped me right there. He said, what's your target? Your target is your health, right? It's weight. And I was like, yeah. He says to me, he goes, but your drinking is something that you feel that you can control or not control. I was like, no, I can control it, man. But the thing is like, sometimes I can't because I'm in a scene. He's like, so you can't. I was like, fuck. First slap in the face right there. I was like, shit. It's true. Like I could sip on water. I could, like change the environment when it comes to that kind of, that social networking vibe. So I was like, okay. And he's like, Jay, I want you to understand this. And I said, what? He said, I want you to understand this. He said, drinking is fucking poison. And I was like, man, I understand that. I get it. Like social drinking. Come on, Dr. Ray, talk to me real. Give me some real value. Like, what's my limit? Like, what could be a limit? What could be something that's he said, shut the fuck up. I'm gonna stop you right there. There is no fucking limit. He's like, there is no fucking limit. He said, drinking is for fucking losers. He said, you want to know why? He said, you put me next to anybody that's drinking even 1 fucking ounce of alcohol. And he's like, I'll beat them every single time. And I thought to myself, and I was like, fuck in hell. Just imagine the version that you are right now. Imagine if you could stop a distraction that's actually holding your brain back from the fullest potential it could be. Even for me, this was like, what the fuck? I don't consider myself an alcoholic, but you know what he called me? You know what he said to me? I'm gonna be real with my fucking lines right here. He said, Jay, you're an obese alcoholic. I said, what the fuck? He said, you're an obese alcoholic. I was like, damn. All I want to do is lose weight and be in shape. And all I know is that my distraction is something that I'm saying to myself is the reason to my success. Because I can go to a bar, I can connect with one guy, and I can transact that into a $10,000, $100,000 deal. My business can flourish, but what am I doing to myself? Ooh, this hit something real big, real big. Because losers are the ones that fucking are distracted. Us men, unfortunately, are very impulsive. We have addicted personalities. You put a good football game on with me and you give me a beer and you tell me to sit and chill. Guess what I'm fucking gonna do, man? I'm gonna sit there, I'm gonna chill, I'm gonna relax, I'm gonna have that beer, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, let's go, Chiefs. Let's go. But at the end of the day, these distractions that hold us back is what lacks the attention to the goals and then the word accountability. Like that word accountability to me is just like it's crazy nowadays because accountability is what we think we can do for ourselves, but really it's the motivational crap that we listen to every single day that goes, ooh, gets me all fluffed up. Like I can do this, but then I still can't fucking do it. You still can't change. So how do you actually change the momentum psychologically? How do you change the momentum from a basal ganglia perspective, the part of the brain that creates repetition and routine? That area that takes a second, not 90 days, not 21 days to make a habit or break a habit. No, that's instant change if you understand the subconscious power and the power of the theta stage. Between about 5 to about 14 hertz of frequency of your brain is the most integral part that you can actually go and actually create and make those habits. But here's 3 things that I've learned over my time that I want to give you guys today for those that are taking notes on what you need to stop some of the fucking distractions that are holding you back from not only goal setting, but goal achieving. Are you ready for them? Before I get started, I just want to preset this as well too. I did want to mention this at the beginning, but I completely slipped my mind. I'm actually, guys, I'm here in Edmonton right now, and I do have a little practice wedding dinner here that I need to practice. So I may end the call a little bit short, just a preset for all the gentlemen that are live with us, and all the ones that are going to be watching the recording. We thank you for showing up and always tuning in and giving us your thoughts. Let's get back to this, guys, because this is something so big, and it's going to be such a fucking eye opener for a lot of people if you can really understand these three things and really be able to align yourself with them and take the experience from somebody like me that's gone out and made millions in my world, have been able to achieve success at a young age, have been able to live a beautiful life, but ultimately still have something that I need to focus on. Something that gets me to the fucking gym in the morning today, sweating my fucking balls off because at the end of the day, I gotta show up now. It's bigger than me now. I finally found the click from a comment that was said to me because I ain't no fucking obese alcoholic. But that comment and that thought pattern of knowing that someone now that I've now hired has given me that insight. I take that and I pull it into my fucking heart. And that now shows the man that I actually am. Not that I want to be. We all want to fucking be something. But who the fuck are you right now? Take some fucking ownership on that. Give yourself a fucking, every gentleman right here, give yourself a pat on the back right now. Give yourself a fucking pat on the back for how much you guys have fucking shown up for yourself and for the loved ones. That right there is just acknowledgement. It's ownership. It's just giving a second to take some pride and saying, okay, now I'm giving myself a pat on the back. Now it's now for the next game. What's the next step? What's the next game? What's the next level? Because life is the fucking game. It's a game. And there's rules to the game. It's just simple. Making money, there's a game. There's rules. You want to make money? The billionaires have already shown you the path. Don't try to recreate the fucking wheel. You want happiness in life? You want whatever. What do you classify as happiness? Have you written it down? Do you know what happiness is? Are you achieving that? If it's family, okay, do you have a family? Do you have a wife? Do you have kids? Do you have the thing that you actually are looking for? Or what is taking you to the next step? The first thing that I tell you right now, guys, the first thing that hit me so hard was you need, ready for this one? You need a fucking slap in the face. You need a straight slap in the face because us men get so egotistical in our own thought patterns and we never, not that we don't want advice, we're all here on a call. You're all here to develop yourself. You're all here to take the next step. So it's not that we don't seek advice. It's just that we want to take advice and we want to be like, okay, let me just take all the advice and sit over here and let me just marinate on it. Which one, what pieces do I like of it? I like this piece, I like this piece, I like that. I don't like that piece. I'm going to discard that piece. We do this every single time we go to conferences, especially for the ones that are like, heavily involved in personal development. We go to all these conferences, we listen to all these speakers, and we're like, which one do I like? Which one do I like? Which one do I like? It's not about what the fuck you like. It's about the fuck you need. That's the most important part. So for me, it was interesting because when I was 17 and I was 18 and I was sitting in a jail cell, that was forced. Forced. That was a forced slap. Like, not physically, even though I've been beaten by cops. I actually remember a quick little side story. Cop came up to the front door, yelled my name. He's like, yeah, my mom yells my name. Sorry. She's like, Jeevan, come up to the front. He grabs me out of the house, fucking takes me to the car, punches me 3 times in the fucking head. I like lay down on the thing. Anyway, side story. I gotta tell you guys stories with cops and being arrested for days. My cousin Joe's on the call. He knows some of those back home in Calgary, Alberta. But what's crazy is like sitting there in a jail cell thinking to myself, like, holy fuck, was a slap in the face in a whole different level, but it was forced slap, right? And then it was like me being able to evolve and understand that I needed to hire a coach. I need to hire a mentor. I need to work with somebody that could slap me in the face, but it was like, it was my control. Like I'm hiring you to slap me now. Like it's a little different level of control, especially as a man, right? Like a cop beating you is a little bit of like I'm not in control because yeah, I'm sitting there fucking getting beat by someone that I don't want to. And then on this side, it's like, well, I can give this respect to somebody that I look up to that has knowledge and information for me. I'm even going to pay them, but I need that fucking slap in the face. How many of us need a slap in the face? How many of us can always need a slap in the face once in a while just to wake up and just shift? And Andre, we're gonna get to you in a second, bro. We're gonna do some Q&A towards the end. Just gonna finish up with some notes here and give you guys some guidance and some knowledge. The second one is that this one's a little sensitive to me because God's been in my world in such a different way. God has blessed me and God has warned me throughout my entire life. I've had so many near-death experiences now that I go back and actually count them out and actually look at certain experiences. How many times that I should have been gone, whether it was the jails, whether it was my best friend setting me up and getting, my head cut open, whether it was all these different things to the latest one. Y'all know that we got into a car accident. Looking at the cars, it's like how the hell me and JC walked out of that just without a scratch, really. Some internal issues, yes, but like without physically anything, God bless. But it's like God has given me these insights. And what's so interesting about this is that we don't look for the signs. So the second thing I really want to say to you guys is God gives us signs, but we don't know how to look for them. Like we think we know how to look for them. We think we kind of go like, maybe that was a sign. Maybe like, I got into a car accident and I should better myself. But like, what does that really fucking mean? Like, what does that actually mean? Like when I got hit by that car came out of nowhere. He's driving me to my massage therapy appointment. Right? Like it's just end of day, JC's like, boom, let's go. Like, I'm just going to drive you out there. Boom, boom, T-bone right there. What was that? Sure, I can be like, oh, God was telling me a sign. I got to be better. But no, I got to decode that. I got to start to understand, because before I was blind, but now I can see. How can I see? Because I'm actually decoding that thought pattern and understanding to myself, like if I were to reverse engineer that, what's so interesting about this, guys, this is fucking crazy. This is fucking powerful right here. It's about 2 years ago, I came to Tampa after going back home for about a year. So I've been in Tampa for about 3 years, right? 2 years ago, I went back home for the first time. I went back home, everything was good. Came back, I slipped in my tub. I was literally just in the shower, just doing my thing, and I ended up slipping because I grabbed the railing to grab the towel, and the railing broke, and I fell. My thumb was like this. It kind of, I tore a ligament. Whatever, got it all patched up, everything good to go, boom, 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 boom. A year and a half later, I'm at Gary Cardone's birthday party. At Gary Cardone's birthday party in March. And all of a sudden, boom, we're chilling. At the end of the night, I slip on some stairs, same thumb that I healed again. I'm like, fuck. I go back up to Canada on this one because I was like, free healthcare up there. Might as well take advantage of that. But now it's fractured. It went from a tear to a fracture. Strike two. And then the third one, I've already mentioned it. Driving through an intersection, all of a sudden, a car fucking slams you, right? Boom. What's the correlation between 3 negative experiences that us men need to fucking deal with pain? The difference between a hero and a villain is this. A hero, and actually I'll tell you, a villain takes pain and wants to hurt the world because of their pain. But a hero deals with pain and says, because I've dealt with this pain, I want to make sure that nobody else deals with this pain. So when I looked at the series of events that took place of me, breaking my, tearing the ligament, then I saw the broken, then I saw a car accident, and I went like, what the hell is going on? What is God's sign now? God, what are you doing? I thought like, come on, I thought we were on the same side here. I thought we want to go impact men and help people all over the world and be able to feed children and educate youth and do everything that I want to do. Come on, God, like, what are you doing? He says, well, what are you doing, bud? Why aren't you taking care of yourself the way that you should be? Want to die? Question mark. And I had no further conversation after that, because there was no need for a conversation after that. See, in that moment, I started to understand the power that God has, the power of your faith. Now, the 5 things that I want us to write down right here, every single man on this call, I want you to write down these 5 F's in order: faith, fitness, that's both mental and physical, family, fulfillment, what you're going to get from giving impact to the world, and lastly, finances. Those 5. Another beautiful reference from Dr. Ray, so I want to give him a shout out for that. In that particular order, if you live your life, gentlemen, lions, kings on the call right now, you start with your faith, you work towards your fitness, because if you can't take care of yourself, you ain't going to take care of anybody else. Then you get to family. Then you get to fulfillment, how you can make an impact. And lastly, comes the fucking finances. And I know so much of us are going to look at that and be like, Jay, that's so easy for you to say because you're okay with money. Money is okay. You're wearing a fucking $50,000 watch right now. It's like, it's a little bit different for you to say that money is okay. But for us, it's not. Sometimes it's fucking hard to pay those bills. Finance is actually really important. But what I'm telling you is the experience that I've learned from billionaires that have gone from nothing to something. They think of the money last. They think of opportunity first. Opportunity has to be the blissful energy that you have within yourself and what you do and when you speak to your God, whoever your God is. But you have to have a faith-based system to understand that there's something bigger than you. There has to be. Otherwise, you are self-consumed and sitting in a fucking planet that you probably are just going to fucking die and go into the earth or fucking be cremated. And your existence is going to fucking be nothing. It's true. So when we focus on those 5, I want us to understand the number 2 rule was God gives us signs. So look for them. Be open to them. Know that those sacrifices that you're making, know the bullshit that you're going through, the divorces, the death, the divide, the fucking bullshit of the money not being in the account. Those are the experiences that are building you to the character that you actually deserve to be. It's just a test. It's just a test on how far you're willing to go. Because like I was told, you put me side by side with somebody, I'm going to fucking dominate. I'm going to fucking dominate. And competition is naturally born in our men fucking energy. As masculine men, we love competition. It's not about winning, which it is in a sense, but it's about the competition of beating. We love it. The winning aspect of it is like, sure, I won the trophy, great, awesome. You know, like you're humble as well too. You're like, great, awesome. I won the trophy. But the fucking real fun was like the competition. It was like in there, fucking like neck and neck. Who's gonna win? Boom! I slayed it, man. Like that's the fun part of it. And here's your 3rd rule, guys. Here's the 3rd rule. Gotta find a group, man. You gotta find a group. You gotta find people that have the same mindset as you. That doesn't mean bouncing around conference to conference. That doesn't mean trying to figure out the next get rich quick scheme. That's not about just like, you know, it's about truly finding a group of men or a group of people or a group, an organization where you really feel not only just comfortable and confident, but where you're actually taking in some insight and applying it every single fucking week. Right? Not just showing up to a conference and getting all lit up. Man, I've been to a Tony Robbins conference. I love Tony Robbins. I've met the man. You know, my mentor coach is his predecessor. Big three generations of Tony Robbins. That's why a lot of our NLP, a lot of that stuff is cooked into everything. But that's not really the momentum. It's not just going to a weekend and being like, boom, 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 boom. I'm so jacked up, and then going back to real life and being like, fuck, man. Shit, that was really fun. Spent a couple $1,000s. We had a lot of fun. We knew exactly what we needed to do. And then after that, I was like, fuck. That's why guys like Drew are on the call right now. Because guys like Drew understand exactly the consistency and the vibe and the energy of knowing how to stay on course, knowing how to follow a team and being able to build and be able to sustain long-term growth, not just like, let's pump it up right now and show you some crazy shit. And then like, ooh, we're good. We'll take our paycheck and walk away. It's like, let's go for the long-term game. Many people are not thinking like that. So I encourage you, don't do it alone. Our egos get into the way, our scarcity gets into the way. I was talking to my dad, actually, you know, being back home in Alberta. I was talking to my dad. We were talking about the stock market, right? He was the first guy that kind of got me into the stock market when I was about 18, 19, just getting out of the jail era, right? And I was like trying to rebuild my life. And he's like, he would just day trade every single morning. And he had a very strict discipline. Like he had no idea what the fuck he was even doing. He's an Indian man. He's an old Indian man. Like he has no idea what he like but he's like, no, I just watch this one stock. And then when it goes up 10 cents, I buy it, I sell it, and then I just shut my computer off and I just do that every day. And you just make like $100 a day, like $100 a day that he would use like 15, 20 grand. And he was just making like $100 a day, $100. So he taught me some very interesting consistency. But the interesting thing part about that was like, he taught me, look, you just got to flow with it. Like, don't do this alone. Learn from somebody that actually has that experience. Learn from somebody that's doing something that actually has a proven model. Most of the times we don't because of our ego. Right? We hold ourselves back because we don't know how we need to make the next action because we're like, like he gave me advice, but like, I gotta, like, let me try it. Okay, perfect. So then what I did, let me give you that example of the stock market. So he gave me that advice. He gave me that, perfect advice. I was like, I got this. I'll do the same thing. So I saved up some money. I put an account together. I had about 10 grand at the time, right? And I was like, okay, perfect. And I was like, let me start day trading. Then what happened? I went 10 cents up. I was like, ooh, but I was like, nah, I think it can go a little bit more. It can go a little bit more. We can get 20 cents out of this one today. What happened? Boom, tanked. Completely fucking gone. And then now it's 20 cents down. So I thought I was going to make that $100, right? But now I'm down $200. So I'm like, fuck, I'm down $200. I got to do this again. I'm scared now. I'm scared. So I close out. Then it goes back up and he levels itself back up. I'm like, shit. So what did I learn out of that experience, gentlemen? The two emotional factors that are going to fucking break you at every cost is fear and greed. When you're fearful of something, you will make a fucking ill-minded decision. When you are greedy about a situation and you think you can make more than you actually deserve in that moment, you will lose everything. I don't care if it's a casino. I don't care if it's stock market. I don't care if it's the business that you bank on. You got to understand that the emotional factors are going to make a huge difference. So when you have a community, you have a group of brothers that we come together and we converse and we get to emotionalize and we get to, just really be able to express some of the things that may be going on personally, professionally, financially. Those are three keys that I would also write down when it comes to the topic of goal setting and accountability. Personal, professional, financial. Lock in all three of those. What are your goals for those? Have you written those down? Have you actually assembled what that looks like? Once you actually have that target, yes, of course, now you're at level 2, which is what we're talking about, which is removing those distractions. Removing the shit that's holding you back from making the right decisions every single day. Like, it sucks waking up 3:55 in the morning. Not anymore for me, but it did. It started that way. I didn't fucking want to. It was cold. It was this. It was that. It was every excuse I could tell myself. Now my body just automatically, I don't have an alarm clock. I still technically keep an alarm clock at 4 a.m., right? Because I always want to make sure that that 4 a.m. post goes out. It's a natural post that I usually do with the line post. But 3:55, my body clock is already on. So you have to create the consistency and discipline by having a group of people and having the kind of mindset that you know that you already have. I'm sick and tired of people using this fucking marketing scheme to make, oh, I'm a speaker, so I'm going to come here and I'm going to make sure that everyone feels lower so that I can raise you back up so that you can buy a product from me. That is not the way to go. What's the real way to go is to actually present you the facts, the figures, the real life stories that I've been able to go through so that you can take that knowledge now and implement that and come back next week and be like, I came back fucking stronger. Jay, thank you for that one little knowledge piece that I got. I heard another lion say one thing. I got that fucking breakthrough and it changed the trajectory of my life. It changed the course of what took me to next week, of taking one distraction out of my life, because that's the challenge today. The challenge today is not diminishing everything. Guys, I'm at a wedding here on the weekend. I talked to you about drinking. You think I'm not going to drink during my boy's wedding? I'm like the best man of this wedding right now. He had 4 groomsmen. He couldn't really decide. So, I was like, you know what? That's fine. Yeah, we all know who the fucking real man is right here. Let's go. But it's like, I'm obviously going to enjoy and drink. But still in the back of my mind, now that my mind is so fucking conditioned just from a one conversation with a new coach that I hired, it's like, damn, one drink extra now affects my next day, which affects the next generation. And the last thing he said to me on that call was, I get a little emotional actually myself, even just fucking, he said, Jay, he's like, there's 1 billion fucking people in India waiting for you. He's like, you're doing this with Lions Den here in America, and you're doing this in Canada and US. He's like, there's 1 fucking billion people waiting for you, looking up to you in India, your people, where your dad was born, that you can go back and serve. Game changer. Game changer. Talk about your why, talk about your purpose. Yes, of course, it's my next generation, but whoa, what an impact. 1/8 of the global population, not including what we just do here every single day. And gentlemen, that's why I want you guys to really understand, finding a group of people is powerful, and mentors and coaches are very, very important. Very, very important. And I know we've heard that saying before, but and I'll tell you right now, sometimes it's hard. Mentors, first of all, finding a mentor is extremely hard, and coaches cost a lot of money. They cost a lot of money. It's tens of thousands of dollars right now. Like at the end of the day, like my packages range from 10 to 25,000 just to do private with us. Most of my, that have clients on the call, they know what they've paid to deal with the transformations that they've gotten. We got Felipe in the house, one of my most favorite ones, because this guy, he just completely transformed in a different level, man. And it was like, again, and Felipe will tell you, outside of even me, I didn't go give him a magic potion, or I didn't go give him some freaking spell or anything like that. It was ways to unlock your own mind to be the real version of yourself, like the real human being that you deserve to be. That's all it is, right? Sometimes that has to work. You have to work some kinks and get into the subconscious mind and really be able to tweak. And that's where my background and my history comes to that, right? I'm able to actually go into your subconscious level, retweak within seconds, and be able to get you on track for exactly what you need to be, because you already are. And taking the knowledge, and this is what most people also do, is they take the knowledge, they get on a call like this, they listen, they take notes, they go to a conference, they take the knowledge, and they go, okay, you know what, like, regardless of this, like, I'm going to just try myself. Like, I don't have the $10,000-$25,000 to spend, Jay. I love it and everything like that, but I need to figure out what the next step is for me, right? So I'm just going to do it myself. And then you'll see people 6 months later, and it's just like, well, I'm still trying. And I want us to fucking remove the word try. First of all, I say this all the time, vocabulary wise, remove the word try. Try, you're already setting up, you're programming your subconscious mind to fail. I'm going to try to be there. I'm going to try to get to the gym tomorrow morning so I can lose weight. I'm not fucking going nowhere until I say I am, and I do, and I will. That's it. So I want you guys to really take into that consideration and be a group that supports you. And I'm about to bring up JC, because JC's an amazing guy. And we got some exciting news for you guys today, actually. We got some exciting news. With the world that we live in, and technology and partnerships and connections, I'm a guy that likes to kind of keep things behind the door, right? The amount of stuff that I could publicize and show off and showcase and be like cars, money, clothes, blah, 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 blah. Sure, it could attract people, but it's not going to attract the right people. That's why I created the Lions Den specifically for men that actually want to take the time and effort to show up every single week and stay consistent with themselves, and actually want to fucking propel themselves to the future they deserve, the king that they actually deserve to be. Very, very powerful thought there, because it's the sense of urgency, right? It's creating sense of urgency and knowing that you aren't just desperate for a deal. This is the thing that we've been talking about today, guys. We need to understand that finances, yes, are important because it's one, but we have to start with faith. We got to start with faith, and then we got to start to understand that from faith, we got to now move into fitness, and then we got to get into family, and then we got to understand fulfillment. And then, of course, finances come in place. So if you are that person that's desperate for a deal or desperate for money, guess what? People are going to smell that and sniff it out. Like NLP techniques, it doesn't matter how much body language you can read. It's just instinctive. It's intuition. It's a sixth sense, whatever you want to call it. So today, guys, I'm so happy that y'all joined us, on Lions Den. Every single week we do this. We come together at 8 p.m. EST to empower men, which I do see a female on the call, which is quite interesting for those that are looking out. Jessica, nice to see you. I appreciate you. I love when it all men's. Remember we had another female like a couple of weeks ago. It's kind of cool because, the ones that are bold enough, will sneak in here and just be like, what are these men talking about? But just for you, a little summary here, and I want to kind of close this call down, guys, because I got to get back to some wedding festivities. Is, again, for me, it was that story of me being able to get slapped in the face by my coach, right? Really understanding that my health is more important than even the wealth, right? This was a huge journey for me just recently, just on making sure that I had the right momentum, that slap in the fucking face. That slap in the face that all of us need to get that energy wholesome, to understand the next step. And the next step is that God gives you signs. So look for them. Look for them. Don't hold yourself back. Don't be like, oh, why did this negative experience happen to me? No, it happened to you because it's conditioning. God's conditioning you to be the man that you deserve to be. Life is like a boxing match. You're getting into the 12 rounds, man. You're getting in there and you're fighting someone. And who that person is, that's you. That's not anybody else. That's you right there against yourself, and probably the fucking best version of you. So that's a scary, ruthless motherfucker right there. That's the king of kings right there, because it's the best version of you. And you're going to go there in 12 rounds and you're going to be beaten down. You're going to be beaten down. It's going to suck. And you're going to go back and sit down. You can coach. What do I do, man? Coach, I'm bleeding. The coach can be like, okay, just defend a little bit more on the left side. Hit a couple punches here, right? Let's angle it like this. And by the end of 12 rounds, you're going to get to that knockout because you deserve that knockout. And the last and final thing that we talked about was find a group, man. Find a group, man. Find a group of like-minded people so we can come together. JC shared some incredible things that we got going on with school community and a platform now that's going to allow us to, like I said, create the OnlyFans to coaches. And for those of you that actually are wanting to monetize your passion, wanting to monetize the way that you want to take systems, team, process, and be able to expand your horizons. Drew is an example of that. Drew's one of our consulting clients. You know, when Felipe is a private client of mine, Drew's our, professional consulting client. We're about to take Drew to a whole new scale, doubling, tripling revenues because of placement. Not anything else, not getting more websites, not getting more show, not doing more marketing, not doing lead generation like all these people are selling now online. It's about you understanding your team, process, and system. Creating an organizational system that allows you now to become duplicatable. Because if you're good at what you do and you make a lot of money doing it, the only way to expand it is to duplicate yourself so that you can step away and you could then eventually keep building. So gentlemen, lions that want to roar, the kings that you are, thank you, gentlemen, plus one lady, for joining us today on the Lions Den. 8 p.m. EST, we meet up every single Thursday. Regardless of what continent I'm in, regardless of what time zone I'm in, I'm out here in the mountains in Edmonton, Alberta today, but I love and respect the fact that y'all showed up. And I will see you next week, 8 p.m. EST, on the Lions Den. God bless.